because weekends are just mini projects. There's hardly any finals.
Yeah,
it's fake news. Yeah, she's offended by my audacity.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Kevin here. On this episode of Resilient Streets, we've travelled to a faraway island to have some dim sum. On a serious note, we're actually here to talk to NTU students about mental health, how they cope with stress and overcome struggles, and at the end, give them a random welfare pack. Let's go! As you can see, there's a huge number of students here. We came here after exam.
Your celebration was the moment you joined this institution.
Oh yay! Finals just ended. Right, on a scale of 1 to 10, how stressed were you?
I was stressed like 7.
6, 7. 6, 7.
For me, I think 7. 7 for me.
9.
9.
Yeah,
okay,
9.
Elaborate. Why 9?
No, because I had to do out a lab report and I didn't even understand the question. And my prof, he doesn't speak English very well, so I had to email him my questions in Chinese.
What? You get to email him your questions in Chinese?
I want to change my answer to 9 also after hearing.
Okay, sure. And why is it a 9?
Like I think like in the last like 3 weeks of the term, right, I had like a lot of assignments and projects due, then together with like finals, so I had to do like everything at the same time.
Because I'm studying a double degree, so everyone there is very competitive. Probably most of them are like scholars, but I'm not. So you know, you have the urge to want to keep up with them.
I prepared myself rather okay. And whatever happened afterwards on the day itself, I at least knew that I had a plan.
Let's talk about mental health. I know now it's something that people talk about.
Sure.
How has it been for you, especially during the pandemic and all this?
I'd say in the beginning it was really difficult, especially as an international student, and I only got into Singapore by recess week.
Wow.
So I essentially missed like a majority of my first semester here. I didn't have a lot of friends, right? And none of my friends from my high school came with me, right? So it was all just this huge depressed time.
I only had 2 core mods this semester, but the stress it came from like I don't know what I'm studying. Like I literally don't understand my lecture slides.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
So that was a different kind of stress. It's like I go into the exam hall not knowing anything.
For me, like I would say at the start of the semester, like my mental health was like maybe not like so good, cause like maybe haven't found like good friends yet. Like maybe that's also cause like of COVID, so it was like a bit harder to find friends. But then like throughout, like as the sem went on, then like now it's like okay already, cause like even though we're like struggling, but like struggling together, like, I found like good friends.
Friends to struggle together, that's the key.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you cope with your stress?
When I feel very stressed, I will, because I bring my bike to hall, so I'll just like go around. Then yeah, I think exercise. My main form of de-stress is exercising.
For me, I'll just write down like what I have to do for that day. Then after that, I'll make sure I get it done. Then I can move on to other stresses.
I don't know if this is a weird answer, but okay, cause I'm Christian, so my general
why not own it?
Yeah, my general way of coping is really just to pray and read the Bible and to believe in God.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of solace in there. We're just talking about that. Right? There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
Besides like the Bible, I think just reminding yourself that like exams and like the product of that doesn't really matter.
Sure.
Yeah, and that life is bigger than that thing that you're trying to strive towards.
Then when I'm very stressed, I will run. If not, I will just like complain to my friends like her.
Like what is one mindset or anchor that has helped you be resilient like throughout your life in general?
A bit cringy, I don't. Yeah, should be kind of.
Nothing is cringe, gotta own it.
Okay, I'll own it. The grass is greener on the side where you water it. So
I love that.
people always say like, oh, like you know, you compare yourself to others, but like you know, if you put your effort to yourself and on your things that you do, then you know you'll flourish.
It's not cringy at all. In fact, we're gonna put a quote.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's more like gratitude. Like
I love it.
it's in like even if you're in a shit situation, I think that still things to be grateful for. It's like we still know where our meals are coming and that we have shelter over our heads. Like that shit can't be taken for granted, I think.
No, I just read somewhere, right, like I forgot the exact wording lah, but it said something like you have been through 100% of the obstacles you've gone through lah. Look at my life up till now, right? All the stress period like PSLE or like A-level the kind. I've been through it, what. Even if the result was bad, it's okay because I still been through it. So what's another time, right?
Yeah, like I agree with what she said. Like you overcome like 100% of the things like you thought like you wouldn't like go through. Like during A levels, right? Like I was also like we were like very stressed. So but then like we still made it. So yeah, I think can.
I was gonna clap, but then I wet the bottle. That will make for a good meme. This is a short answer. Like, what advice do you have for incoming students?
Ooh,
now that you have gone through 1 year.
Like one sem.
Yeah, I mean that's good. It's good enough info to based on that one sem. What advice do you have for incoming students?
Be consistent with your work.
Yeah.
Primary school teacher will tell you, but that's cool.
Agree. Cannot have like backlog. Cause like sometimes at the start, right, I was like, oh, I'll just watch this lecture like next week or something. Then it just keeps like accumulating. Then like finals is here and I have like 10 lectures to watch.
Yeah.
I'd say find some people that you really trust. I think humans, we're social creatures in the end, and we benefit and take strength from one another.
Am I in the position to give advice? I think it's important to be sure of who you are regardless of what's happening around you.
Just do what you want, don't care about work too much, just live life.
Yeah, I'll share something that has worked for me. It's just really to focus on the task that you have on that time, and if there are things which you can't like do anything about it, put it aside for now. Focus on what you can do.
You don't have to compare with the rest, because as long as you're doing your best, just at least give yourself some recognition that you are really trying your best. Yeah.
Okay, thanks so much. Right? It's not the end. I have something for you. So I have welfare pack.
Thank you!
It serves your exam welfare pack, but now it's just a post-exam pack. Yeah, there's some snacks, there's a journal for the journal, and there's a movie voucher.
Wow.
Shaw movie voucher, by $11. You can go and enjoy a movie.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, interesting. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thanks so much for taking time.
No worries.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Alright, so we're done with student interviews, but I'm super excited because we're heading back to my former school, Wee Kim Wee. I'm gonna surprise my former lecturer. So yeah, we're gonna interview her and surprise her with this special portrait. There you go. I'm gonna read it out. Education is not just filling a bucket, it's lighting a spark. Education is not limited to 4 walls and a piece of paper. It is limited only by the depth of our imagination, the hunger for learning, and most crucially, the size of our heart. Thank you for teaching me that. This was a good representation of my life in Wee Kim Wee, but don't quote me. Hey! Hello! Hi! You're on the video. He's in the video. Hi! Come on in. Can? Okay. I interview you.
Okay.
Interrogate you finally.
Okay.
To use your PR skills that you taught me to the test.
Alright.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'll introduce yourself.
When you're done talking.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, well, first of all, welcome back to the school. My name is Pei, and I'm happy that I was one of your many instructors here at the Wee Kim Wee School.
What does education mean to you?
I think education is really about not just helping the most brilliant excel, and making sure that they are also doing their best, or at least discovering what they are really good at, and to have more sort of believe in their strengths. And I think this may sound very cliche, or everyone has their strengths, but I think along the way, because of our education system, a lot of students tend to forget that. And I think it's about helping them rediscover the many strengths that they may have forgotten. We also want students to be ninjas, and to have a lot of exposure and different kinds of skills.
Okay. Ninjas. I like that term. Why is it called ninja?
Communication now is at interdisciplinary, junction, and it's very important to have different skills, right? Whether you do well or not academically, that's not how you define education. It's important that you expose yourself and pick up some, real skills in the industry.
Nice transition to the next question, which is mental health, especially during the pandemic. How has that affected students in general, you feel, as an educator looking at this over 1.5 years? So,
I think there's definitely an increase in the number of students who have come forward, and I think that's because there is a lot of mental health and awareness campaigns. But at the same time, I also think that because they cannot go out and interact as much, they cannot travel, there is a lot of this, like you suppress a lot of your emotions, and there is no like a reset button, and they have missed out a lot of experiences like exchange and things like that. So I think two things has happened based on my observation. One, which is students who blame themselves in a way, and it takes it inward, and so that affects them, in terms of especially like cases of anxieties, speaking up in class or working with others, right? But there are also students, who takes it outwards, and they may take it out on others, so there is actually a mix of both, and sometimes we bear the brunt of it as well.
Right. What advice will you have, not just your students, but NTU students or any university students? What advice will you give to them if they are struggling with their mental health?
It's really important to keep trying new things, try to experience new things. There are two things that I think it's really important in relieving stress. And I think you might think, hey, that kind of contradicts, but I believe in giving, I believe that giving, giving to others, whether be it form of words or any form of love language, can also help you, and I think the other thing is to channel some of your expertise or your experiences to a purpose. I think it's really important to have agency, to feel like you have agency over your decisions and over your life. It will take a while, it's not like overnight, but keep moving. It's important for students to also find that support system. It doesn't have to be many, but a few that they can lean on in different aspects. I think vulnerability can certainly work for you and sometimes against you. You will often be misunderstood before you are understood, but don't give up.
Last question, I guess. What advice will you have, general advice for uni students, current uni students or incoming uni students?
I think it's really important for students to have many varied experiences of university life, and that is not limited to the classroom. So start with your freshman orientation, make friends, don't leave yourself out of that important community, right? And try to volunteer and have different CCAs that you can sign up. While the experiences may not be overseas, you can still have lots of experiences within the campus. I have a lot of students who are also taking up part-time work and internships.
That's amazing conclusion, because that is very in line with something that I prepared for you. It's a secret gift. You can open it.
I open it, I flip it over.
Flip it over and see if you like it.
Alright. Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah, always. It means
I really
a lot.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you mentioned to me as well, about how education is not limited to a piece of paper, but only by imagination, your heart, your love for learning beyond the classroom. Yeah, so I think it's definitely one person that taught me that.
When I first started teaching, I came in and I knew why I wanted to do this, and it's about being the salt and light, right, and about making a difference. But I also hope that my students pay it forward and do the same. Yeah, and I think you are doing exactly that. Thank you. I'm really touched.
You're gonna make me cry as well.
Yeah.
No, it's the least I could do.
Thank you so much.
So that's it for today's episode. I hope it gave you some insights If you're a student, always remember that education goes way beyond your grades, and always make mental health a priority. Stay resilient, subscribe, share, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye!